Ekani Omdraai. There's this song that says Ekani Omdraai. It means I will not go back, or I will not go backward. When I remember where God took me from. Am I translating it correctly? When I remember what God did for me, when I remember where God brought me out from. Ekani Omdraai. You know, the reason why God gives us testimonies, you know why God does signs, is for us to keep staying. You know, I remember when I was I'm still growing, but when I got born again newly, what our mentor then will say is, whatever you are doing that is making God bless you, keep doing it. Meaning, if you used to pray 100% and God blessed you, go 200%. Because the moment you stop doing what you were doing for God, and that moment, the moment you hang in one level, you will remain there. Growth needs what? Continuity and consistency. Ekani Omdraai. I'm not going back. Not just that I'm not going back, but I will keep doing, or even doing more of what I used to do that caused God to bless me. What was that you were doing that put the hand of God in your life? Don't stop it. Because the agenda of the devil, I used to say to people, he only has 3 assignments: to steal, kill, and destroy. And his tactics is not changed. The same way he tempted Adam and Eve is the same tactics he's using till today. He has not changed. He doesn't have any new games in his book. His only agenda is to steal, kill, and destroy. So do not withdraw yourself from service to God. Do not withdraw yourself from your prayer altar. Do not withdraw yourself from worshiping and praising. Do not withdraw yourself from what you were doing until God remembered you. Because if he remembered you then, there is still more. There is still more. There is still more for God to do for you. There is still more for God to bring upon your life. There is still more. The mistake we make is that we get a little and then we relax. And then we start running on reserve. We start eating up what we are supposed to save. And then we start running on reserve. Most Christians are running on reserve now. Most Christians are on reserve. You are running on what you are supposed to. You are eating your reserve now. Meanwhile, you are supposed to be in the vineyard to get more, so that your barn will be large. The book of Isaiah chapter 54 said, enlarge your territory. Some of us are running on reserve. God has envisioned you to gain the whole Atlantis, but you just got a little bit of Avondale, and then you say, okay, this is my portion, and then you relax there. You're running on reserve. What happens to the rest of the harvest you're supposed to have? What happens to the rest of your portion on earth? What happens to it? Who are you leaving it for? Dr. Miles Monroe says that the graveyard is the most richest place on earth, because there you will see potentials that were never actualized. There is more for God to do for you. Don't just get born again and sit with your holiness. What are you doing with your holiness? Amen. Don't just be a child of God for words. Let there be a fruit. Say to neighbor, let there be an evidence that you are a child of God. Ekani Omdraai. When I remember what he did for me, when I remember where he took me out from, I'm not going back. Not just that I'm not going back, I'm not going to remain there. I'm not going to remain there. I will not remain there. And something I want to encourage us with this morning is look for people who have the same passion and zeal as you. Because if you are fire and you sit with water, water quenches fire. Water quenches fire. a ball of blazing fire inside the ocean, the fire will stop burning. Water quenches fire. Don't be fire and sit with water. Look for people with the same burning zeal, who have also decided, Omdraai. Two of you will be saying, I'm not going back. This thing this season is difficult, but we are not going back. Come. This struggle is hard, but we are not going back. Let's go. Don't sit with people who throw pity parties. Don't sit with people who compare problems. Oh, today I had leg pain. Oh, my sister, you don't know. Today my one was chest pain. Let's sit down and drink tea. Drink tea. Sit with people who have fire, who will tell you there is more. I got promoted at work. Wow, congratulations, there is more. Paul said, I have not gotten it all. I am pressing towards that goal ahead. I'm pressing towards that goal ahead. Teenagers, look for people who have the same passion for God as you. It is a remembrance or a vow you need to make to yourself. I remember the people I left behind. I remember, and then I'll go back. Hey. I can't go back. Not now. Not now. When there is more. When there is more. Some of us need to make a prayer to God and say, open my eyes to see where you are taking me to. Eyes have not seen, ears have not heard, neither have mouth spoken what God has in store. Say, but by His Spirit, He has revealed it unto us. So, eyes have seen, ears have heard, but are you by His Spirit? It is only those by His Spirit who know where God is leading. We know what the trial season is for. Some of us go for trials in vain. You cry and cry and cry until trial season. You don't know why the trials is coming. You don't know why the trials was there. When I pray for people who are grieving, I say, Lord, let this grief not be in vain. Whatever this grieving is for, Lord, let them know. Let this grieving season not be in vain. Let this trial season not be in vain. Open their eyes to understand why they are going through this season. For every season you go through in life has a purpose. So don't miss it. Don't miss it. Say me who can never long dry. As the earth so cold as fur, can Omdraai. A prade me savame, a prade me savame, drag lievame, e can Omdraai. Oh, shatala barara basatala lebosiala.